Now, sperm and egg, we talked about sperm and egg, and now what they're going to do, basically, when they put together, the sperm has to get an entry into egg and fertilize the egg. So this is a classic picture which I basically kind of, it's fascinating to me, because this is an egg being bombarded by lots and lots of sperm, and every sperm is trying and knocking the door, let me in, and only one lucky one will go in and fertilize the egg. And sometimes this is what happens in natural body, and also it also happens when we put the sperm and egg together. But sometimes you have to assist inserting the egg into inserting the sperm into the egg, and Dr. Nakajima showed you this video, so I'm going to skip that video. But here the egg is held, and again it has to be a mature egg. Egg is held under suction pressure, and a sperm inside the needle. Needle will go in, we deposit the sperm, and out we come. So this is like 400 times magnified picture of sperm and egg. Okay. All right, so what happens once the sperm got an entry into, it becomes a zygote. And how we know it's a zygote, because it has these two structures called pronuclei, and these dots, these are the tiny structures which hold all the genetic material, and it's aligned perfectly. It does not happen all the time, but this is a high quality zygote where you see those dot-like structures, nucleoli, they are aligned perfectly. Okay. One is male, one is female. It is claimed that the bigger one is a male contribution and the smaller one is a female one. Now, if you look closely, there are three of those structures which I showed you. They are supposed to be two, but here we have three. So it can happen also, but it is an abnormality. It's a deviation. And these kind of zygotes we don't culture. If we can culture, but it has to be, screened for genetics also. But typically we don't culture these eggs, and because they are abnormally fertilized, and they may result in a molar pregnancy, which is absolutely not desirable. So some centers they can be grown into if they are tested by PGTA, especially by knowing, we have to know not the regular PGTA, but the PGTA with ploidy determination, so that we are sure, because sometimes these are equal size. Sometimes we have like two big ones and a very small one. So we don't want to take a chance of predisposing the patient with a molar pregnancy or a miscarriage or no pregnancy. So with PGTA, with polyploidy determination, we can utilize if it comes back as a normal. Like, if there's an extra contribution of sperm, like, there are two sperm have been entered, or the second polar body has not been expelled out. So they are either an extra set of chromosomes somehow or another. So that's why we want to make sure, if the selection is by visual only, then it's out. This zygote will not be cultured. All right. In summary, that we go through embryo development. By day 1, we see 2 PN. By day and a half, all right, day and a half embryo is missing, but it's a 2 cells. So from a 1 cell zygote becomes 2 cells here. By day and a half, by day 2, it's 4 cells. Day 3, it's 8 cells, 6 to 8 cells plus. And then by day 4, it becomes a morula stage where it loses its boundaries and identity of being individual cells, becomes one big mass. And then on day 5 or so, it is expected to be a blastocyst stage, where you can see clearly a type of cells which is at the periphery, and a thinning shell, and a big cavity filled with fluid, and this big mass called ICM. So the ICM will be giving rise to a fetus, proper baby, and the troph cells or trophoblastic cells, they'll be creating the placenta or the membranes. And of course, everything has to come out of the shell to implant into the uterus. So furthermore, development expanded, and then it's hatching, and it's hatched. So this will be the stage of embryo which will be implanting inside the uterus. So all these pictures are taken in our laboratory, and patient decided not to freeze for whatever reason. We kept watching, and this is what we observed.